guys, welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, you're absolutely welcome. My name is I'm a mom of two cute boys, and I create content around motherhood, lifestyle, and just things I do generally in my day-to-day activities. And to my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate your love. So today's video is a story time, and I'll be sharing with you my struggle with infertility and how I finally got pregnant. For those of you who don't know, for the new ones here, I have two cute boys. I always call them my cute boys because they are really cute and they are the best thing that has happened to me in my life. They are the best gift I've ever gotten, and I do not take them for granted. I love my boys so much. They are personal to me. They are, as in, they are children that when I look at them, they remind me of God. Yes, they remind me of God's promises. They remind me of so many good things. They also remind me of my struggle too, and it just shows that nothing lasts forever. Everything has to do with time in this life, and when that time comes, everything falls in place. So I got married in 2014 to my husband, and I got married immediately after I finished school. Immediately, like, let's say I finished school, like, say, August, and I got married the very next month, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and everything went well, which I thank God so much for. And when the marriage process started, that was when I knew that there were people who, their work is to watch your womb. They get concerned about, you've been married for like some months and your tummy has not, come out yet. Everything is still looking flat. And in my mind, as a very innocent girl, I didn't really know that there was anything called womb watchers. I never knew, until the pressure started getting to me. And I just thank God so much for my mom. My mom was my pillar. Like, she was really strong. Sometimes even when I call her, you will hear her shouting at me, scolding me. She was just like, get a job, get something doing, get something doing for yourself. It's because you're just idle, you're not doing anything, and that's why your focus and your mind and you're listening to what people were saying about you. And sometimes she will, encourage me. She will, pray with me and just tell me that you will have your own children, because I got married, I gave birth to you. Definitely, you give birth to your own children. That everything happens for a reason, and God was taking His time. I didn't listen. I wished I listened then. I didn't listen. I was just so consumed in the thought of having children. And like I said, I got married immediately. I finished my NYSC, my service. Immediately I just finished, I just got married the very next month. And I didn't have a job, no skill, nothing. I was at home, just always, crying, complaining, no children, no this, no that. And my husband was also very encouraging. But in this whole story, why I'm sharing this is not because of that my husband was not supportive. He was, to a large extent. He was very 100% supportive. My problem, the problem I had was the third party interferences in marriage. I had some people who would call my husband and ask him, how far? Your wife never carry belle, friends, church members, and it was getting to me. And my husband too didn't know how to process that information to my own understanding. When they call him, I felt he would have, kept the information to himself, but he will always share with me. Of course, I'm his wife. He will always share with me, and that will increase my thinking. It will increase my thinking. I was so anxious. At that point, I was desperate. Let's just say it that way. I was desperate, but I thank God in my anxiousness, in my desperation, I never went to any illegal place, which I thank God. I so thank God so much for. And I just want to tell you that it wasn't an easy journey. In fact, it's because now people are beginning to share their story and talk about this thing. I didn't know that what I was going through depression, because it got to a point where I shut out everybody from my life, from family to friends to church members to neighbors. I just wanted to be on by myself because I felt, like everybody was against me, that nobody understood what I was going through. I just felt so bad. I felt so alone. And that is the worst thing that can happen to anybody who is still trusting God for your baby. Please don't don't shut people from your life. It's not everybody that is bad. There are genuine people who truly cares and who wants to help. So I know as a person you will know those friends you have. Those friends you have, your friends, and those ones that that they can share in your pain genuinely, not the ones that want something from gossip, not the ones that want to take your topic and go out there to discuss. So I was in that state of, I was so depressed, and it got to me that I stopped looking after myself, and that was so bad. That was so bad. I stopped looking after myself. I stopped focusing on me. I stopped my self development. I stopped a whole lot of things I had dreams of pursuing. I never, thought of any other thing but the thought of children. Children clouded my mind. I didn't think of any other thing apart from the thought of children. And that I feel was very bad. That I feel was not good at all because it didn't help me. Just imagine I took out time to develop myself. Those years I didn't have children. I think I would have been in a more, in terms of career, in a more better place. Of course, I don't regret anything. I thank God because in life you learn, and that's the main purpose I'm sharing this story with you today, so that if there's any one of you who is struggling, who has this mentality I had then, please don't hold yourself back. Don't hold yourself back. I can tell you for free that you should develop yourself. Add more value to yourself while you're still trusting God for children. Because what you don't know is that this marriage thing is between you and your partner. Every other person is a third party. Every other person doesn't matter. It's just between you and your partner. And for my own situation, I got carried away. I felt like I was the problem. I felt like a failure at some point. I felt my body has failed me. I felt I have failed my husband by not providing him children. And for God's sake, as if the power to create children or to make children is within my control, as if it's something I could do for myself. I at some point, I started doubting God. Like I even started questioning God. There are Sundays that my husband and I will be preparing for church, and I will just remove my clothes. I'm not going to church again. I will start crying. This God does not exist. How can I be praying? In fact, He said we should obey. We should be good children. I have done all that. Why is He punishing me like this? I was just so angry with everybody, angry with God. And trust me, it was not easy. It was not easy. And no, you've not you will just be asking, how long did you even wait? You will not believe the harm I was doing to myself. Because when I started, opening up gradually to people, some people were just like, how long have you been married? How long have you waited? And Funny enough, and I opened up and told them I married 214 and I don't have children. And I think that time we're still in 216 years, just 2 years. And I wanted to kill myself that I don't have children. I think about it now and I laugh because what I know now, I don't think I will ever make such mistakes again. I will never make such mistake anymore. And that's the main reason I'm sharing this story with any woman out there who is trusting God for the fruit of the womb. Please, I will beg you with everything you have. Live life. Forget about what people are saying. In this life, people will always talk. And that is one thing I failed to realize when I was, struggling for the fruit of the womb. That was why I didn't realize that people will always have their opinion, but that shouldn't define who you are. That is not what God has said about you. Don't forget, it was God who instituted marriage, and is the one that says the fruit of the womb is his reward. That just shows that don't stress anything in this life. Allow God, allow God's purpose be your focus. God's blessings for you be your focus. God's plans for you be your focus. Don't look at anybody. Don't listen to what people are saying. Even if they are saying, the best answer to give to such people is, since I do not have, it just shows you're not praying enough for me. So in all this, when all this, my battling was going on, I would go to the hospital, doctor would give me medicine, and it got to a point where the drugs started reacting on my body. There was spot all over my chest, my face, and that just killed my self-confidence. I became like a total stranger to everybody. Like, I looked, you need to see me, I looked worse than, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I look like a fatherless child. And in fact, I look like an orphan. Just to speak, I look like somebody who didn't have a family. I just looked very worse. Like, I had some clothes that were my best. If you want to look for me, just look for that clothes. You will definitely find me among the crowd. Like, those were the clothes I was wearing. I was not taking care of myself. Pimples all over, my hair untidy. Like, I think about it now, I'm like, God, what were you doing to yourself? The thing is, I didn't know any better. That's the reason I'm sharing this story with you. Please, any woman who is still trusting God, hold on to his word. But please do me one favor. Please live. Live your life. Pursue your career. Go get that skill. But please help me and live. God will bless you when it's his time. You don't tell God what to do. And that is why he is God. He does what pleases him at his time. So guys, like I said, I got married 214 and I had my first child in 217. That is to show I was pregnant in 216. You see? Just 2 years and I wanted to kill myself. Just 2 years of waiting. I wanted to end my life. Just 2 years of waiting. I felt I wasn't good enough, that the world didn't see me the way I was seeing myself anymore. And it was so bad. It was so bad. Like, it was just so I don't even know the word to use right now. It really got to me, it got to me real bad. Please, to every woman, I beg you, leave. Children will come when it is time. Because the reason why I'm sharing this story is because I came across a video by I think she's a Nigerian YouTuber too. I came across a video by a lady, a YouTuber called Nina Gilbert. I think that's her name. I'm going to leave it in the description box. I'm going to leave the link in her channel so that you can also go and check that video. Everything she was saying, I could relate to it. And after watching that video, like, the whole emotions I felt when I was also in that situation started, playing back in my head. And I just looked back and I said, I shouldn't have lived my life that way. I shouldn't have lived my life that way. I shouldn't have focused on. It's not as if I'm saying children are not good or they are not what makes you happy, but it will come when it will come. And trust me, when I say it will come when it will come, because it was when I stopped bothering about children. It was when I stopped, I just woke up one day, I looked at myself, you know, and I said, this is not the kind of life I want to live. In fact, before I took that decision, I remember I questioned God. My husband was not in the house that day. I think he traveled. I questioned God one night like this. I questioned God seriously. Like I cried like a baby who was being beaten. I cried and I questioned God. I started quoting all sort of Bible passages started flowing in my head. Like I started questioning God that you are not God. I started questioning Him, challenging God. Hey, and after crying, it's as if when you cry, I believe it so much because since that incident happened, when I see people crying, I just tell them cry because it sometimes for me, it makes me feel better when I cry. But if I don't cry, that thing will be in my chest. But when I let it out, I feel really good. That's just me, So after crying that night, only me by myself. Nobody could tell you sorry now. Husband was not in the house, only me by myself. I finished crying and I just, cleaned my face and, went to bed. And the very next day, I don't know what happened, but I just feel it was God. The very next day, my people, I started feeling better. Like I started seeing myself like the normal me. I started dressing up again, looking good, going for parties. If you invite me, I will come. On like before, if you invite me, I will either I lie that I'm not available. I would go to parties, take my time, go to church, praise God. I was just living the life. Like I didn't care anymore. Whatever you wanted to say, that was your opinion. But if you bring it close to me, I was ready to give back. That was what I just decided to do. But I just started taking care of myself again and my people. You will not know that very month was the month I took him for my first son, who will be 4 years in March. I can't even believe I will have a 4-year-old child, And I couldn't just believe it. I just didn't even believe what was going on. I called my husband, I don't know, that I could not see my, no. I think that very month I got pregnant. I had waited for my period to come. My period didn't show up. And I told my husband that, see what is happening to me. My period is supposed to come by so months, by so time this month, and it's delaying, but I'm just seeing spots, And I remember my husband just told me, why not go get a test strip and just test? I'm like, abeg, please, I don't want to go through that journey again. A woman who has been trying to conceive, and every time you test, you will start see negative. So I didn't want to see that again because I don't want to put myself through that stress. So I told my husband, please, there's no need. But my husband just kept encouraging me and said I should just go to the pharmacy, get a test strip, and do the test. So I went out, got to the pharmacy, got a test strips, and I waited till it was in the night. I don't even know why I did that. I waited till night, and I tested, and there I saw 2 lines. Hey, the shock now. Gin. I said, no, this is not possible. I called my husband. I'm like, I saw 2 lines. What does 2 lines mean? My husband now, he just messed up. He likes to research. He said, don't worry, let me just Google it immediately and see what 2 lines means. He Googled, and the same answer he gave me was, it means you're pregnant. I'm like, no, I cannot be pregnant. I was so anxious, like, it's not possible. I cannot be pregnant, So my husband just advised, okay, we'll go to the hospital the next day, let the doctor just check and confirm that it's not what it is if you are doubting. So we got to the hospital, and this doctor, oh, very lovely man, Dr. Wachuku, he was checking me, and he just started saying, he was asking me questions as I was, explaining to him. He was, taking notes. As he just kept saying, my father have said it, there shall be no barren in the land, there shall be no barren in the land. And then after writing, he just gave me one paper like that and said I should go upstairs and go and do a pregnancy test for him. So I went because I was so anxious, I went upstairs, got to the lab, they did the test, I waited for the result, and when the result came out, the anxiousness in me did not even wait to carry the result back to the doctor. I opened the result myself, and immediately I opened it, I just saw pregnant. Hey, my people! I screamed from upstairs down to the doctor's office with smile. People were just passing and looking at me like, what's wrong with this man? I was like, I entered his office, I said, sir, I am pregnant, sir, I am pregnant. The man said, I know. I said, you, sir, I am pregnant. As in, my joy knew no bound that day. Like, I was just so happy. My husband and I was just so happy. And the pregnancy, the whole thing was smooth, was okay. Of course, I had some small challenges, but I thank God I was able to finally, carry that pregnancy to term and give birth to my lovely son, Jason, So guys, I just wanted to share this video with you and share this very topic with you. To any woman out there, your time will come. It will definitely come. God is not an author of confusion. That is one thing you should take from this video. He's not an author of confusion. He who created you, gave you breast, gave you the vagina, gave you everything, puts a womb in your body. He knows what he is doing. So just keep holding to his word. And you see all those womb watchers, you see all those people that likes to put their mouth where it's not needed. Simple answer to give to such people is to tell them they are not praying enough. They should help you and pray more. That is just the best answer. And shut your ears, whatever they are saying, as long as they don't come and approach you face to face to say, please, for me, they don't count. In fact, you should just even wash them like like soap from your body. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. leave this video a thumbs up if you like this video, and I will see you in my next video. And if you've not subscribed, please do well to hit that subscribe button and join my family.